So today we are here face to face with Andreas, Heljarmadr, if it's correct.
It's correct.
The main man of GRA, who by the way will be playing tonight in Bucharest. Thank you for accepting this, Andreas.
Yeah, sure.
And let's cut down to business, and here are the questions. You are currently touring with GRA in support of your latest album, Ending, which was released last year, if I'm not mistaken, in December.
Yeah, Christmas Eve actually.
On the 24th of December.
Yeah.
Cool. How come you choose Eastern Europe for your tour? It's a 7-day tour.
Yeah, it is. We got in contact first with a guy. It was a completely different city's plan originally, but then it fell. Something happened, and then I got in contact with Florin, who's live here in Romania, and he wanted to take up where the other guy couldn't carry on, and he suggested Eastern Europe, and I thought, yeah, why not? Cool. I've been here in Romania with Dark Funeral before, and I've been in Hungary too, and so yeah, that's perfect. We thought. So why not?
I was curious, how many fans do you have here in this part of the world? And
well, the response, we've done 2 gigs this far, and the response been great. I think. I mean, we're an underground band, so
definitely.
To have people to actually skip work the next day on a normal week to come to see us, that's fucking amazing.
Cool. Looking forward for tonight. Moving on a little bit to your album, you said in another interview, if I'm not mistaken, that Ending is your last album dealing with the topic of death.
Yeah.
What will be the next topic? Did you already start to write some new stuff, or?
Yeah, well, many people have read that as we will like cease to exist after Ending. No, we're not doing that. So we will continue existing, and all I can say is that you might get a hint during the show tonight where we're going next. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay, perfect. Tell me, as a person who's been involved in this movement for quite some time now, how do you see black metal nowadays? I know this is a cliche question, but I don't know, is it a way of life for some? Is it a trend, or is it a trendy way of life?
Well, I don't know. I haven't been that involved in what's happening because I've been a musician for a long time, and as a musician I'm more interested in what I'm doing myself rather than what others are doing. So I don't really keep up with many things. I often get the question, do you have any bands to recommend, new bands? Honestly, I'm not sure which bands are new or old, or I don't know. So usually I just recommend some friends' bands that I like.
Okay, because there is this trend nowadays. I don't know if you are acquainted with it, occult black metal stuff, and everybody's doing rituals and instead of concerts, you know.
Yeah.
I was just asking your opinion about this, if you know something about this, and if you are interested in this. But you just told me that you are.
I guess it's good that things evolve, and if you can make it to be more than just a rock concert, then fine. Personally, I don't think that either Dark Funeral or GRA would benefit from going in that direction with the hoods and all that. We are more 90s oriented.
Cool, and that shows. You also played in several bands like Domgard and Cursed 13. I heard that you are not playing in Domgard anymore?
No, I'm not, no.
Okay, so you just played on the first 2 albums? And
I was on the albums. I wasn't on the split. That's when I joined, and that's when Grim joined Cursed 13. We did we need more members for both bands, so let's help each other out. And I was on the two first albums, and then I thought that I live 500 kilometers from where they live, and I'm really busy with GRA and Dark Funeral mostly these days. So I thought it's better for them to find someone who lives nearby. Okay. So we are still best of friends, and Domgard is actually playing the first ever live show. I think it's in a week. the week after we end this tour.
Okay.
So I'm going to that show, and I don't know if they want me to come on stage for a while. I will do that too, of course. It's at the Mörkaste Småland festival. It's a kind of new festival in Sweden.
I've seen something on Facebook.
I personally think it's the best festival in Sweden for extreme music. I know the guys who runs it, and first year I was there with Gra. Second year I was there with Dark Funeral. And now I'm gonna be like a DJ, and maybe also do something with Doomguard there, since we're at the same place at the same time.
This sounds really nice.
Yeah. I would recommend everyone to check that festival out and get there. It's the fucking best.
Cool. As you said before, you have become Dark Funeral's new frontman.
Yeah.
Do you think this will kind of interfere with your activity with Gra and Cursed 13? Will this take you to a next step in your activity, or you remain on the same, let's say, underground level?
Well, it's hard to predict how the future looks, but with Dark Funeral, of course, that is my main priority. Because it's a really active band and a lot of touring and a lot of things going on all the time. So that is my main priority. But I'm not letting go of Gra, because that's my creation.
Child.
Yeah, it's my child together with the drummer. We started it. So when I have the schedule for Dark Funeral for a couple of months forward, then I see if there's a gap. Well, let's do something with Gra. And we have a lot of things planned for the future with Gra. It's just about finding the time to do it.
Okay.
Curse 13 isn't really that active. I mean, I've started it in '98, and there's one album out and one split and a couple of demos, so there's no rush there. So we don't have any pressure for that. We do something if we want to, and if it feels right. We've done a couple of shows the last years, but that's about it. Yeah, I try to divide my time as best I can, and because I love to do everything.
Good luck with your activities.
Thank you.
Let me ask you something about Gra's music, because how I perceive it, how I feel it, is very cold, violent, but still it's melancholic and depressing. I can understand where the violence comes from, but where this melancholy comes from? Do you do something in particular when you are writing or recording stuff, or it's just
I don't know.
Duality.
I think that much of the melancholy comes from the Scandinavian traditional folk music, because it is often very sad and very dark, and I like a lot of that. I like to go to places when they play all these old instruments and things like that. So I think that might be the key to the melancholy part. About the lyrics, yeah, maybe that too. Maybe there you can find there. Okay. And also I'm very interested in poetry, Swedish poetry from the 19th century. So that reflects too, I guess.
Cool. Tell me, can black metal be black metal without spirituality? I mean, how important is this aspect for the band or for yourself as a person?
Well, if you don't have a spirit in it, you're just a rock band. That's how I see it. If it doesn't have a dark soul, it's not black metal.
Okay. And speaking about spirituality, what's your opinion? I know about religion, and I'm asking you this because of what happened in August with Dark Funeral's concert in Bucharest.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't really care what imaginary friends people have. I don't really care who they go to bed with. I don't really care what people do with their lives. Just keep the shit to yourself, man. That's the main thing. I have nothing against if someone believes that this Jesus Christ dude is his best buddy somewhere in some fucking heaven. I don't really give a shit about that. But don't fucking put that shit on me. Don't put that shit on others.
Unfortunately, this happens quite a lot in Romania.
Yeah.
The religion is very powerful, and the fact that the Romanian Orthodox Church decided to have a commission who will study and who will listen to bands in order to select them whether they can play or not in that festival. This is a little bit oppressing.
It's sick that religion have that power.
21st century.
Yeah. But I mean, seriously, this is a wake-up call for you Romanians too. To put your foot down and tell those fucking geezers to go fuck themselves. I mean, in Sweden it was. This reminds me about how Sweden was in the 80s. Then you had when Wasp came around. We had this. Every Swede knows about this TV show where this Christian idiot is like, Wasp, translate, we are Satan's people, and all that. It reminds me of that. And when this shit was like in the open, when everyone could see through their bullshit too. So everything became better. So you have to surface the shit to. If you don't see it's dirty, you can't clean it away.
So basically, you have to make the shit hit the fan, and from then.
Yeah, of course.
Something will.
When the shit hit the fan, it will be. You can scoop it up. When it's a big lump of shit that everyone's pretending is not there. It's like an elephant in the room.
Okay. Let's move back to your releases, because I have a question here which was on my mind for a couple of times. You started basically with a mini CD called Heljarmadr, if I'm not mistaken, and then this Heljarmadr song appeared in on other releases as well, and you have reached the third part, and I don't know, the last.
It's maybe? The conclusion,
The conclusion. First of all, what does the title mean, and what is it about? Because it's the longest track on all the releases, and thus making it probably the most important one if you made 3 parts and the longest song.
Don't know how to put it really, but we have had this concept about death, and we have been using Charon from Greek mythology. We have also other things from Greek mythology, but also we have a lot of Scandinavian mythology in there too, because those two are related in many ways. So Heljarmadr means actually path to hell, which is the Christians call it hell.
Yeah, but hell in Scandinavia.
Exactly. Exactly.
The underworld.
The underworld, exactly. And in Greek mythology you have an underworld, and in Scandinavian mythology you have an underworld. So if Charon is how we display it, then I think the Heljarmadr is kind of the Swedish version for it, because Charon is taking you to Tartaros or wherever you deserve to be, if you have the coins for it. And Heljarmadr is the path there, and in the Scandinavian mythology you cross a bridge. You don't take the boat, you cross a bridge. Basically the same thing, different visions about it. So basically Heljarmadr is the soul, because that's where I come from. It's the soul, and Charon is the poster guy for basically the same thing. And the Heljarmadr tracks kind of they're key parts in the whole concept. I think the most important parts. And why the tracks are long, I don't know. Just turned out that way.
Okay, I personally like all of them, but my favorite is the second part from the Necrology of the Witch EP. It has such a Burzum-like approach, the guitars and the drums and the voice, and I feel it resembles a little bit to Dunkelheit, not copying that guitar tones, but I don't know, it's really resembling that. And for me it was like a tribute to the old black metal ways, like this Burzum, and then comes Freezing Moon. So it was like a link.
In a way, you're not completely wrong. I'm sure it's been in my subconscious, but when I wrote the music for that song before it became Heljarmadr Part 2, it was completely different. And it was, I didn't know, I wasn't really, it wasn't intended for gra even. It was I had a lot of electronic stuff in that. That's why it's so monotonous, because I had a lot of electronic stuff that repeats itself, and but then I started to scrape that off. Well, if I have this, and if I remove the unnecessary parts, what do I have? And that's Heljarmadr. And I actually play the drums myself on that track.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool. It's a very nice song.
Thank you.
Speaking about Sweden and Swedish, most of your lyrics are in Swedish.
Yes.
Do you think that this maybe makes them lose impact on the non-Swedish speaking audience?
No, I've been asking. We have Where Shadows Dwell is in Swedish also on the new album, as well as in English on the single.
Okay.
So I've been asking the audience during this tour, do you want English or Swedish? And everyone goes Swedish. So no, I don't think so. And also in the album, in the booklet, we have translations of every lyric, so you can find it. Not on the old ones, but for the new album, I wanted it to be readable for everyone. I like them better phrased in Swedish. I can use different words. As I said, I'm interested in Swedish poetry, so I can find a vocabulary that isn't really common. And if I would translate it into English in that way, it would be kind of difficult because I'm not that advanced in English.
And maybe the message will be lost.
Yeah, it would be more Shakespearean, I think, or something. Yeah, kind of like that. And well, people don't seem to care. They want Swedish black metal sung in Swedish, so, and I don't mind that at all. It suits my agenda perfectly.
Okay, we spoke about Burzume Mayhem earlier. Is Freezing Moon the first and the last cover that you have made or you will make?
We're not closing any doors. There may be more covers. We have some ideas, but we haven't been able to pull them off really. Freezing Moon was for me and Dimman an important song because it's a song that's been following us since we were young, since it was released, in the Alive in Leipzig version especially. So we thought we can do this song really good and put our style into it without ruining the feeling of the song.
Exactly, that's what I like about it. You put your style, but you manage to keep the important parts. And I mean here the solo is like Euronymous who will do it on Live in Leipzig. Or
for the solo we actually listened to several different versions. He played them differently. On different live recordings. I don't know if he was improvising a bit, but we did a version that we felt was the best, and then in the end we actually added some Bathory influenced styles. Keep it hanging a little bit slow, So we did also some improvisation.
Cool. Do you play covers live as well, or?
We have actually done that a couple of times. We have done some Bathory covers. We did a Darkthrone cover once too, and we've been playing Freezing Moon once also. But we have so much material now, so we don't really. Usually we don't have that much stage time, so we want to keep the important parts. And now on this tour there won't be any covers because it's the conclusion of this concept, and this is our concept. It's not something some other bands have any part in. So
okay, and this brings me to my next question: is Gra a live band by default? I mean, how do you feel live? How do you feel on stage? Do you feel comfortable, or you just prefer being in a studio recording stuff?
Well, I love everything. I love recording in studio. I love, when you sit down with the guitar and hey, I have something here. So I love that part all the way to the mixing process, because I've been recording and mixing all the Gra releases this far myself, so I can get the sound I want, because I don't trust people. So I love the recording process, and I also love the live performances, because it is live. Anything can happen, and the songs can be completely different in feeling for me on stage than when I sit home and listen to them. Some slow songs become really aggressive for me, for example, when on stage. But when I listen to it at home, it's like it's kind of a calm song. So I like it, and when the audience is good, then we are together as one and just being a big fucking force.
How many concerts did you have so far in Sweden and abroad?
With Gra?
Yeah.
I'm not really sure, 20 or more at least.
Okay, so not such a big concert activity.
No, we haven't been. This is the second tour we're doing.
Okay.
So no, we haven't been out that much. But it's not easy for underground bands to get out. Also, when we got this chance Fuck yeah, we're gonna do it.
Cool.
So we hope for more tours in the future, of course. When the time is right.
Okay.
It has to be. We're not gonna do gigs because there is a gig offer. It has to feel right. Okay. Now this is a Coin for Charon Tour, which is also the ending tour, and we end it in Greece, like returning Charon to the Greeks in a way. Yeah, exactly. Bringing home Helfärd, Path to Hell. We are also going home.
Nice, a really nice ending. Tell me please, who, if you know, of course, who or what is death? I wanted to ask you this while listening to your albums. Is it an omnipresent character, or he just appears when the road is ending?
Well, personally, I see death as a passage. It's a gate, a door, a river can be, or a bridge. That's kind of the name for the band is Gra, which means grey. It's a mix between, it's a play of words with Swedish and Icelandic actually. Okay. Which means grey, and grey is also in between. It's not white, it's not black, it's in between. And it's maybe not life, maybe not death, but the path, Helfärd, Charon. You have everything is coming back to the same thing, and it's those three little letters. And I think this is symbolics of that is. I can talk about this all day and dig really deep into it because it's so much philosophy. So that's also what this death theme is about, the path in between, and what is over that bridge. We will all find out eventually.
So basically, you can say that death is life.
No, death is the passage after life, but what is life?
Okay.
And is life worth living, or isn't it? You see it. You go digging into the deep questions there.
Okay, I'll stop here. I have one more question. This is regarding your releases, because as far as I know, excepting your split EP with Gnosis of the Witch, the rest of the materials were released only on CD by Unexploded Records from Sweden. Do you have in plan a release on vinyl as well?
Yes.
Cool.
We did with the Greek guys who is arranging the show in Athens. Helfärd was actually released on LP, 50 copies only. And we are re-releasing it on LP, but a picture vinyl, picture disc by Carnal Records. They have used to have Kraft and Arcanum and
Fato, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Fato. No, that's Shadow Records. So that one is coming. It's at the same printing factory as the Cursed 13 single I mentioned. So it comes when it comes. Both labels are using the same. So that will come when it comes, and also Ending is in that factory to be released on Gatefold LP. Really nice one. And I've been talking about releasing the other two, the first debut album and Necrology also. But that's nothing I can really say anything about how it looks. But it will be done. But the question is when. And I'm also planning cassette releases.
Nice.
Because I know many people like those, and I like them myself. So we're planning cassette releases of them, and then we move on to new stuff when we have everything released on the good formats, and so you can have it in your preferred way. Then it's time to move on and start digging into new territories.
Cool. Really good news.
Yeah.
Really good news, because I think your music is suitable on vinyl.
Yeah, it is.
It's not that harsh black metal, lo-fi black metal that can be listened on vinyl. It's a very good music that's suitable on
I think so too. And I have actually prepared vinyl masters that is not as compressed. So I think that the vinyls will sound better than the CDs. Actually, because of it is purposely mastered for vinyl also. So I hope they will be really good, and even more. You can hear more. CDs are often it's so compressed because you need to have the high volume.
Yeah.
So vinyl is better, I think.
Cool. So we will check your Facebook page for the updates when the time will come.
And we try to keep our normal web page updated too, but it's a hassle because I'm the one writing the code, and I do it manually, but I'm old school. So. I don't have the time to do that so often, but I
can
try.
imagine.
I try. We have all the merchandise up there at least. So.
Cool. Well, we have come to an end, and I want to thank you again for the time and for the very, very in-depth answers. Yeah. And it was a pleasure talking to you, and I can't wait for the show tonight.
Yeah, we're eager as fuck too. It's gonna be great.
Cool. Thank you very much, Andreas.